Okay, hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining me. My name is Richard from the Seneca team, and my job is to help parents get the most out of Seneca, which is what brings me in front of you today. There's already some questions coming in on the chat, which is great. If you do have any questions and aren't familiar with Zoom, I assume we all are now, given the situation we live in now, but if you just hover over my screen with your mouse, or if you're on your phone, just tap my face, and you'll see a little chat option come up at the bottom of your screen. Just click in there and do feel free to ask questions about Seneca, about anything I talk about, anything more generally. I'll do my best to answer those. To answer Holly's questions come in already. She's calling in from Penzance. She says, can we record? Of course, if you'd like to record, that's absolutely fine. But just so you're aware, this is being live streamed to YouTube, so the link will be shared with you afterwards. So obviously, if anyone doesn't want to, it will just be me and my screen sharing on it. If anyone's worried about that, then feel free to turn off your videos as well. But yeah, so you'll be able to access the link through our Seneca Parents YouTube channel. So it will be there and available to use to view afterwards. So what we're going to talk about in this session today is we're going to look at some basic functionality of the parent platform. So how you can set up your account, how you can connect your account to your child's account, what sort of information you can see, all that stuff. And then I'm going to talk to you about a few other bits and bobs that we can offer you on top of what we offer for free through our premium packages. So to start off with, I'm just going to share my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see exactly what I see. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen now. If you can't, please do just someone let me know in the chat so I know. Otherwise, it's difficult when everyone's quiet. So I'm going to start with just explaining a bit about what Seneca actually is and how it's come to be. So we are a free to use platform that students, teachers, parents can sign up to. They can access our learning resources for free. If you haven't used us over lockdown or before, we provide free curriculum linked resources that students can go up to. And then from a parent side of things and a teacher side of things, you can then track the progress, see what's going on with your child through our accounts for both of those groups. And some of the best things I think are worth mentioning about Seneca is obviously it can be accessed from anywhere. So we're very well set up for distance learning, be that on desktop, laptop, mobile, tablet, whatever it is, we are able to provide you with that just by going to our website. And some of the best things that are worth mentioning as well is that first of all, it's based on cognitive science. So when we were developing Seneca to be the platform it is today, we worked with the team of cognitive neuroscientists for education. And we basically worked out what could be the best platform based on the research, based on the science that is available to understand how learning works and how that can be put into a platform. We then also looked at making sure that there was opportunity for you to track progress, and these sessions are also completely adaptive to the individual learner. So all your children will be completely different people. They'll have different strengths, they'll have different development areas that they need to work on, and the system automatically will learn that, and it will suggest, it will basically tailor the content accordingly to support your child most effectively. Now that does a couple of things. It helps them to learn quicker and better, but it also helps to keep their engagement, which as I'm sure you are all too familiar with, can be a challenge sometimes when your children are learning from home. And lastly, Seneca is free to use, so there's absolutely no need to pay for anything to use Seneca. There are, as I've sort of mentioned already, there are a couple of extra premium things that you can pay for, which I'll talk to you about a bit later. But I'll start off just by explaining exactly what we provide for free so you can understand that and get the most out of it. Do get the questions coming in as and when you have them. So I've talked a bit about the cognitive science and this research, this team of scientists we work with to basically understand how we could develop Seneca most effectively. And we obviously wanted to make sure that the way we had done it was effective, because at the end of the day, our ethos as a business very much is focused on making sure that we provide a really high quality free education to millions of people, which we do, but we wanted to make sure that it's actually making a positive impact. So we did a piece of research where we looked at completing a randomized control trial with just over 1,100 pupils. And what we found was, when we compared Seneca to other independent learning tools like revision guides, is we found that very similar pre-test results in the groups we looked at. But when you looked at post-test results, the students who used Seneca did over twice as well compared to revision guides. So we see that as a validation that what we're doing on Seneca and the way we've implemented the theory is actually working, and the scientists have worked with us to produce a platform that's really making a difference to students. And that research was peer-reviewed and published. So if you'd like to read more about it, or you'd like to know more about it, obviously feel free to ask some questions. But you can also just go away and do a Google search yourself. If you just search for impact Seneca, for example, it will come up with the research, the fully written up research, if you're interested in learning more about that. Now, in terms of what's on Seneca, so we have content that is available from year 3, so that's age 7, right up to age 18, and everything in between. And between the years of year 3 to year 9, the content we have is linked directly to the national curriculum. So what the government say those children of that age should be studying, we provide free courses that are available for people to use that cover all of that content. And then at GCSE and A-level years, it's linked to the exact exam board specification. So you may or may not know that different schools can pick the exam boards that they want to go with, and the content we deliver to your children will be specific to that exact exam board and what they can be tested on in their exams. And as I say, there's lots of people using Seneca now, so we've got over 4 million pupils using it, over 200,000 teachers, and our newest platform, our parent platform, has just over 45,000 parents as well. So there's lots of people using it, and as I say, we're really pleased that we've been able to support, especially over where it's been so tough for people over the last few months. But obviously moving forward, we're hoping to continue to help people out. So that's a bit of background on Seneca and how that all works. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on and show you what the parent platform looks like, so you can sort of understand when you log in, what you will see, how that will work, how you connect to your child, and all that stuff. So this is what the parent platform looks like. So here you can see here I've selected my child, which is me in this example, but you can see I can choose from a multiple different children. This poor child didn't get the best name, Intercom Test, but you get the idea. So you can have your children linked up here. You can choose the date range that you want to see different bits of data for, or you can select a custom date range as well if you want. And then you can see what your child's been up to. So say you wanted to see just the last 24 hours, you can just select that, and you can see what your child's been doing on Seneca in that period. So you can see here that I've been studying some chemistry, some geography, and some physics. And you can see how much time I've spent on there to make sure that there's the children are doing what they're saying they're doing. You can see their average scores, the number of sessions they've completed, and the number of correct answers they've got in those courses. So not only does it allow you to check that they're actually doing their work, but it allows you to see where they might be struggling, allows you to work with teachers about how to support them potentially. If you're seeing here, okay, physics, they're actually only getting 20% across the different topics that they're studying, that indicates some sort of issue, and we need to make sure we get to the bottom of that. But it allows you to get to the bottom of it really quickly, which is really nice. The data is just there and ready for you to use in whatever way you want. So, and that all happens automatically. So as soon as your child completes some work, it will show up on your parent account. The other thing we hear from parents that they really like about it is that actually it helps you to have conversations with your children about their learning. So I know it kind of not be easy sometimes for a few parents to understand what's going on in school, where they're struggling, how to help even. So this helps to engage that conversation in a more sort of effective, productive way, and it allows you to sort of not just have completely no understanding of what's going on in school, or where your child might be struggling or doing really well. So that's that. The way to set it up is very straightforward. What you need to do basically is you see this connect to child button here. So once you've just created an account, you just go to senecalearning.com and sign up for a free account. You can just connect to your child by clicking this button. And there's a couple of different ways we can do it. So either we can just copy this link and share it with my child in whatever way I want to. So I can, however you want to communicate with your child, you can do that. Or you can just send it to them by email or WhatsApp if you want as well, if that's easy to do. And then it will share this link with them. Now, what the child will then need to do is they'll need to click on that link, and then that will connect the accounts. Now, it's important to say at this point, some parents struggle with this. What they do is they copy this link, they go straight into their browser, they open up a new tab, they paste it into their browser, and they hit enter and connect. Now, that all seems like it should work, but actually you need to be careful, because what that will actually do is it will connect your own account to your own account. So whatever you're logged in as, when you click on that link, that's the account that gets linked to your parent account. So just be aware, if you're going to do it that way, what you need to do first is you need to copy that link, sign out of your parent account, and then log into your child's account, and then they can click on the link, and that will link your account together. Now, once you've got over that hurdle and you've linked your accounts, you'll then just be able to see the data forever until you or your child disconnect the connection. So simple as that. Then you're connected, then you can see that nice data that your child's work is producing for you. You can help to support them through their learning on that. So I'm seeing a few questions about, is this free? So yes, everything I'm showing you here is free to use. So you can go and sign up. If you just go to senecalearning.com, you can literally create an account right now and just create this account and go away and start using it if you'd like to. So the other things to say are there's a question from Angie about an app. So at the moment we have an Android app that's available through the Play Store, but we don't yet have any Apple app, unfortunately. So we're working on the Apple app as we speak, but for now it's just the Android app available. So Nero's just asking about how to log in. So if you want to log in, all you need to do is just go to senecalearning.com and you just click log in the top right hand corner. So that's in terms of the student's accounts, the parent's account and how that works, how to connect to your child's account, which is a student account. I won't show you how the child's account works, but if you want to, once you create your account, if you want to see how how the student platform works and what they can see, you can just click on this student platform button at the top here, and that will take you through to their student platform. And you can try out some courses. You can see what your child will be up to, if that's something that's useful to you. It's also really nice if you're looking to support your child and you want to learn the content with them, you can then do it through this student platform as well. And then you can support them if there's anything you're slightly rusty on. So that is our free parent platform, and the student platform is completely free to use as well. So if you want to go and do that, that's great. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, obviously, if you want to or have any interest in getting more for your child, there are some other options that we can get through our premium packages. And the main thing I'm going to focus on is our tutoring package. So you may think tutoring actually is something that's very expensive. It's £30+ per hour, and something that's out of reach of a lot of parents. But we have come up with a model that will allow you to get unlimited tutoring for the same price, but for a whole month. So I wanted just to share that with you and how that works, so you can sort of see how it might benefit your child if that's interesting or useful. So this is where our tutoring happens. It's like our tutoring platform, and it's where students can come in here and ask questions on any of these subjects down the side here. So as I say, for £30 a month, you get access to all of these subjects. So everything from your biology, chemistry, maths, to your PE and your RS and your sociology. So there's a whole host of different subjects we provide content for. And what happens in here, it's basically an opportunity for your child to ask questions to tutors. And what our tutors will do is they will get back to your child with a response within 10 minutes. But it's often quicker than that. I think the average is about 5.5 minutes. And that will help them to, if they're struggling with anything, that will have someone on the other end of a line, who is trained in giving this support, and will be able to provide support for your child. So for example, what I can do, I'll just show you how this works. It's probably the best way to do it. I can go into this biology questions. I can ask a question. So I could type in here something like, something from the biology course would be like, something I know that I had forgotten until I reminded myself the other day. What is eutrophication? I can ask a question like that, something that I, as an adult, wouldn't probably remember what eutrophication is unless that's something I specialize in for my work. If my child was to come up and ask me what is eutrophication, I wouldn't have a clue, but our tutors will be able to support with that. So if I ask this question, what will happen is one of our tutors will get back to me within 10 minutes. So you can see here, so the tutor's already seen it. This little Seneca symbol shows me that they've seen it. And you can see Yasmin down the bottom here is coming back to me with a response. So as part of this, this tutoring package, while Yasmin's just coming back with an answer, I'll just explain some other parts of the tutoring package that come with it. So you also, I imagine, get quite a lot this idea of your child saying, I don't know how to study, I don't know what to study. That's fairly common amongst students who are studying at school. And what you'll find is we can provide you with a custom timetable that's tailored to what your child wants to learn or studies at school. And it will look something like this. So we have here down week 1, you can see the subjects that I'm going to be studying on week 1 and the different topics, and also the different types of links to resources. So here I can click on this link and it would take me through to a resource that I should focus on for this. And you'll see here that I can then start learning, and it takes my child through to that, the bit they need to learn. So you can see here, we've got a whole stuff for week 1. If I scroll down, you'll see week 2. And it's basically a bit of a timetable, week 3, for example, 4, etc. A timetable for your child to follow to basically work on the areas of the curriculum that they've chosen they want to learn. And the way this works is it's completely customized to the individual. This isn't like an off-the-shelf thing we give to every single person. It is basically your child can fill in this form when they first sign up for tutoring, and they can select the subjects they want to focus on. So for example, AQA business, I can select what topics I'd like to improve on, etc. And I can select how many hours I want to study on this a week. So say I want to do 2 hours a week and on my business, and then I can click next and I can choose another subject. So let's go this time for English literature, blood brothers, and then I can again put the topics I want to study, etc. And this time I want to study for 3 hours. And again, so this will create a tailored timetable for your child. There's something that looks like this, and it will allow them to have a timetable to follow, so they can focus on the areas that they want to focus on most. All right, let's see if we've given Yasmin enough time. Oh no, Yasmin is still typing. She's only had 3 minutes, to be fair, so it might be a bit short, but she'll come back to me in a second. So that is in terms of what we provide through the tutoring service. The other thing worth mentioning is that this is available to students of all ages. So from Key Stage 2 up, so the same ages we have courses for on Seneca. So you can have access from age 7 right up to age 18. And if your child is a A-level student and they are looking maybe for application to uni, we'll also give support on university personal statement applications, and support on and guidance on how to apply for uni, or what it's like to study at university. All of the tutors that we work with are either Oxbridge graduates or they're currently studying at Oxbridge. So you can get support on those areas, but then also if they need support with applying for other unis as well, obviously they're in a good position, having recently done their applications and done really well in them. Okay, so let's see what Yasmin says is an answer. So eutrophication is the process by which a lake or other body of water becomes enriched with minerals or nutrients, e.g. fertilizers, and can cause overgrowth of algae. Well, who knew, hey? So thank you very much for Yasmin. She's given me a really detailed response here. It can cause animal life to die, which is sad, but she's also given me a follow-up activity. So if I'd like to practice, I can just click on this link. And she has sent me through to, here you go, Biology EdXL IGCSE course, and I can learn about pollution in the Biology GCSE course. So that is basically all I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to come back and see if there are any questions on any of that. I imagine there are quite a few. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and then I might come back and show you, or I might, before we go, just say thank you to Yasmin. Okay, so I'll stop sharing my screen and let's see if there are any questions from anyone. I've just lost my Zoom somehow. Right, apologies, my Zoom seems to be playing up somehow. Right, I don't seem to be able to access the Zoom, which is rather bizarre. Just give me one moment, I apologise. Right, apologies for that. I think I've got us back, which is good. So, start my screen up again. So, apologies for that. I don't know what happened there. Right, let's just come see if there are any questions. Please do get them coming in. So hopefully I've explained what is free and what is not. So yes, so Seneca is free to use. You don't have to pay for premium, but obviously there are those extra premium features that you can use if you want. So question from Sabrina about which exam board the school that her kids go to uses. So it will depend. Each subject will use a different exam board. It's not one size fits all for a school. So what I'd suggest is speaking to the school about that so you can understand that. A question from Ruth says, is the tutoring government funding for less well-off families? So the way we structure our tutoring service is there's no government funding in it or anything like that. We've made it as cost effective as possible for £30 a month. We can't do it any cheaper than that, basically, I'm afraid. So if you compare it to the cost of another tutor, obviously £30 for an hour or £30 a month, there's no real comparison in the in the cost. But obviously if that's too much of a stretch for you, then we have access to all of our free courses, which you're welcome to use, obviously. A question from Nero says, can I just ask so my child profile is linked to what she does at school? So it's linked to what she does on Seneca, Nero. So whatever she does on Seneca, she will, she or he, sorry, will that will show up on your parent account. So it's not linked to necessarily what's done at school. It could be done what's done by your child independently, or for homework as well. So if another question about login details, do they come from the school or do they come from you as an individual? So if what you need to do is you just need to go and create an account on, if you go to senecalearning.com and just create a free account, that's how you get your login details. There's no need to go through the school to get your login details. Question from Ange says, how do we get the details of individual children's profile to be able to connect? Sorry, maybe I missed this. Well, no problem. So your child just needs to create a free account. So if they don't have an account already, then you just need to get them to sign up for one. But once they've created one, you as a parent don't need to know those details. You just need to be able to share that link that I showed you with your child. So you just need to get that link up and share it with them via WhatsApp or via email. And when they click on it, that will automatically join you and them together. Question from Paula says, do we need to sign up for a minimum amount of time for tutoring? Is it on a rolling monthly basis? So we've got two options for tutoring. We have a annual access, which obviously be for 12 months. And then we also have a seasonal access, which is for 4 months. So you can choose from either of those two options. And yeah, so the subscription will just carry on. If you just don't want to continue anymore, you just need to cancel, or let us know just by getting in touch. But yeah, so it will renew it will basically either be for a 12-month period or a 4-month period, depending on which one you select. Question from an anonymous viewer says, is there a reduction or family price for tutoring for several children? So I'm afraid not. That's not something we offer, I'm afraid. Imran says, is there any other service similar around? If so, how do you compare with them? So in terms of tutoring and the way we do tutoring, as far as I'm aware, there is no other service that does it the way we do it at the price we do it for. So I couldn't compare with anyone for that. But in terms of our free product, we are, if you look at some of the other free options available on the internet, there's basically no comparison to how the student experience works. Students get a far greater variety of courses. We cover 25 different subjects. I think the closest competitor would cover about 5 or 6 subjects. And also we have a whole range of different types of courses. The parent platform often isn't free on our competitors' sites. So for me, what we provide for free is far better than anything else out there, even better than the paid for services, I believe. But obviously I'm a little biased, but from my knowledge of what's around, I do genuinely believe that. Okay, a question from Ruth says, did you say the tutors are only from Oxbridge, not other universities? Is there a reason for that? So yes, so when we're working with our tutors, we want to make sure that they are, of the highest quality in terms of their academic understanding of the work, and that they have, that you can be reassured that they're smart people that have been trained in a particular way, and that they are producing content that is of a really high quality. We've obviously got our own internal quality assurance processes as well to make sure that those tutors are working effectively, because we're aware that the Oxbridge tag isn't the be all and end all, but it's a good indicator that these people are smart, and the people we work with do a very good job from Oxford and Cambridge. Question from Bryony, it says, is it okay for 2 children to use the tutoring package on one account? So the way that would work, Bryony, is it would basically completely skew what you would get as an individual. So the reason for that is Seneca is very individualized and personalized. So if you had more than one person on an account, it would completely mess it up. So you can't do that. Question from Rebecca says, is the online access to the account free to use and are made aware of any aspect of the account monthly charges? What do you say about £30 per month? So to answer that question, Rebecca, what I showed you at the beginning in terms of your access to your parent's account and access to the data of what your child is doing at school or through homework is completely free. You don't need to pay for any of that. The paid for service is the tutoring service that we offer. So if you want to have access to that, or if you want to have access to any of our premium courses that we offer students, then that is paid for, but there's obviously no obligation to pay for any of that. Okay, a question from Xavier says, how does a child evidence his or her learning to add to the school systems? So the school has cited the work, etc. So from what we provide a student account where students can do work. We have a parent account where you as a parent can see what your child's up to, but we also offer teacher accounts. So what that will then do is it will allow teachers to create classes, and it will allow teachers to, a bit like you do with a parent platform, to connect with your child. So it will allow a teacher to connect to their student, your child, and it will allow them to see the data and evidence what your child's up to as well. Okay, a question from Nero says, I'm trying to see how this is integrated because I didn't want to be using different products, i.e. they use Google Classroom for some work, they use so is Seneca integrated? So to answer the question, so yes, Seneca is integrated with Google Classroom if that's necessary. The difference between something like Google Classroom and Seneca is that there's no actual content on Google Classroom. It's purely a messaging service between teacher and child. So as a teacher, you have to basically set work. So we provide options for teachers to set work through Google Classroom. So yes, it is integrated in that way. Okay, a question from Parvez says, are your tutors from a teaching profession or out of uni working towards the profession? So our tutors are a real mix of people, Parvez. What we have is they are all either recent graduates from Oxbridge or they are current undergraduates at Oxbridge, but they obviously go through our trainings processes to make sure that they are fully on board, and we give them continuous training to make sure that the support they give your children is effective. So you can be reassured that they're not teachers or necessarily even going to work on the teaching profession, but neither are tutors generally. If you get a sort of traditional one-to-one tutor, they're often university students or something like that, and this is no different. Okay, a question from Leaf, or I hope I've said your name right. Is the info on our child shared with anybody? So the info on your child, obviously, we wouldn't want to share that with anybody because it would be a real data protection issue. So the data is only shared with someone who your child has given permission to see. So if they give you permission to see, you can see the data, but no one else would be able to see it without the child's explicit permission. Question from Brian, he says, can the scores be used as evidence to exam boards should GCSEs be cancelled? So some schools have said they've used it in that way, but we wouldn't be able to provide any assurances that our data would be able to support with that. But obviously, it would provide you with the data if you need it. But yeah, we're not approved to provide data for that purpose. Question from Imran Khan says, are your teachers DBS certified? So yes, of course, they're going to be working with children. We make sure we put them through the DBS process to make sure that your children are safe. Ruth says, are tutors trained on pastoral work and safeguarding? So yes, again, as part of the onboarding process and a continuing support, we have a safeguarding lead within Seneca. And we have a process of escalation. So if any of our tutors are worried about any children, there is a direct line of direct process for them to go through that we've trained them on, so that they understand how to react with those circumstances. Okay, Rebecca says, what age is this aimed at? My daughter is 6 years old in year 1. So at the moment, Rebecca, we only have courses that start at year 3. So we'd only be able to provide support for children year 3 and upwards. So once your daughter reaches year 3, she can start using it. But until that point, we don't have any courses for the moment, but that might change in the future. Conrad says, what are your projected profits in millions over the next academic year? Well, we wouldn't really want to disclose that, Conrad, but I can say that we are a fairly new business and we're not yet covering our costs as a business. Our aim is not profit. Our aim is making sure we provide a free service to millions of pupils and they get the most out of it. Ruth says, it sounds like you might be able to replace school one day. So what I'd say, Ruth, is that's absolutely not what we want to do, actually. We think school is really important. It is something that has put students back a lot when schools have been closed over the last few months. So we really want to we don't want to replace schools. We don't want to replace teachers. That's not what we see. We are very much a supplement to what goes on in school. And we work very well with the school because what we have on Seneca is content that's specific to what's being taught in school, but also you have tutors that are available on the other end of the line when teachers are not available. So they're available and ready to use. So if you want to have them, then go ahead and do that. Question from Nero is Gumley actively using Seneca? I wouldn't know, I'm afraid, Nero. We have about 4,000 schools using Seneca for free. So I wouldn't know whether that's one of those 4,000 schools. It might be worth checking in with your schools. But even if the school is not using it, then there is there is obviously the option for you to start using it as an individual. Question from Vandana says, can a child have an account if the school doesn't use Seneca? Oh, I've just answered that. So yes, a lot of individuals use it without their teachers using it. There's no need for teachers to start using it before you use it. So if you want to start using it, you don't need to wait for your school's permission or anything like that. But you can be reassured that the content on there is exactly the same as what will be taught in schools. So that will give you some reassurance. So a question from Veronique, if Nero hasn't seen that, Veronique says that Gumley is using Seneca. Apparently, I don't know if that's true or not, but thanks Veronique for chipping in. Chrissy says, I've connected to my child. There is no activity yet. I'm sure they've done some Seneca-based homework. So what I'd say in that case, if you're seeing that you can't see the data you want, you just need to double check that you've connected to the account that they're using and the account they're working on. And also just double check those filters at the top. So, we said like last 30 days, last 24 hours, just double check what's selected there and make sure it's covering the period that your child did some work. Okay, great to hear you're going to sign up, Nero. Let us know if you need any help. So I think that sort of comes to the end of some of the questions, it seems. If you have any last questions that you want to ask, please do get them into the chat before I go. But otherwise, you might find later, think, oh God, I wish I'd asked Richard that question when he was here. What you can do is if you just sign up for an account, you'll get an email just saying welcome and giving you some advice on how to get started. So you can either just reply to that email, or if you go into your account, you can also use the live chat on our website to gain access to our team and get some help from my colleague Olivia. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate your time on this Wednesday evening. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And if you've got any questions, do just get in touch. Thanks very much.